Hello, everybody. I am Nick DiChiria, joined by none other than Jim Turntine, the creator and founder of Partners Promoting Darts. Jim, how are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Well, now we're here at none other than the Tournament of Champions in Kansas City, Missouri, 2022. And this is the biggest event in soft tip in North America, I would wager to say. But first, let's talk about the program's inception. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of why Partners Promoting Darts came into existence?
Wow. I don't know how much time you got, but I'll try to give you the quick version. Essentially, I've been promoting darts for about 30 years. Had my route here in Missouri, all through central Missouri. I've been a director, vice president, president, every position on the board in the state association. And my involvement with the racket boards and just the thought process, I like math, and so I figured out early on I could handicap things and make things better. And so once I started, I got more passionate about it, and over time we were running some fairly large tournaments here in Missouri, and then my state association relationships expanded to where many of my, you'd say, would-be competitors, other folks here in Missouri, joined in with me, and then we added some folks in the Midwest and Illinois and other states, and then in the late 2000s, I want to say around 2010, we hooked up with a national organization that also had the same belief system kind of that we did, that we needed to build a brand and we need to do the things that we've tried hard to do with the PPD, which is, and I always say there's like three things. We're trying to reward the greatest and most loyal dart players with the greatest opportunities in the sport, to recognize their abilities and skill. At the same time, reward them for helping us promote the game by giving them bigger and bigger opportunities. And while we do that, we're trying to provide opportunities for all skill levels, and so we do that and add some value to all the partners who are involved. That's kind of the recipe, so to speak, that we followed since the beginning. And it kind of came together in 2011 that we started planning and making commitments and putting together. I believe 2012 was the first year. So we're 10 years in, but we lost a few because of COVID.
Well, it's great to be back in person, though. I know this is one of the first big events I ever played in. I played in the 2018 and 2019 Tournament of Champions as well, and it's always been such a blast from the player's perspective. You can talk with all these players, and you'll hear different things from everybody, but one of the key factors I've seen is gratefulness, because they're excited to be here, and it's a good equal opportunity tournament. As far as the bracket for Division 20, it's going to be the same as Division 1 as far as format, payout, and the chance to walk home with a big check. Can you tell us a little bit about why that's the case?
Well, it falls under the second kind of part of what I said a minute ago. We try to make sure that we give opportunities to every skill level player, and we want to make it as fair as possible. So the math, the flighting, the data, all the things that we do to collect that data and try to make sure that we've done everything we can to weed out sandbagging and cheating, and that's the death of every sport out there. And we've done everything we can, and we're going to do some more, and we still have plans to do more things, and we want to make it where everybody has an opportunity at their skill level.
And the best part about it is that it's not just the Tournament of Champions that's your major tournament. You also have quarterly national tournaments and the All-Star Triples, which is personally my favorite event. I used to play in it I would call out of work at the time. I was working in a restaurant. I would call it every single Saturday. Oh, I'm sick. I don't know what happened. And then, of course, I'm really at the bar throwing darts and participating, because then you get points on the rank list and everything else. And the systems in place are just phenomenal here. I mean, how does it feel seeing these players compete for so much money and for the fact that this is enabling them to have a dart career?
Rewarding is probably the best word. I tell everybody, though, and our staff behind scenes, as we're planning and preparing and doing, we want players to have the time of their life. I've said it, I'll say it again. We work really hard to do that. We want to create memories and memorable experiences, and we do the best we can. We're not perfect. We have stumbles once in a while or technical difficulties, but overall we try very hard to be fair and consistent, and we want to continue to follow that, and we've got more ideas in the pipeline and more things coming, and bigger and better events for the top-ranked players is in that recipe, no doubt about it.
Well, and events for big players, one of my favorite ones, of course, I'm wearing the jersey right now for the CSC Challenger Series. That was an event that originally you guys came up with, and then Jeremy Wood was in charge of production for, and then me, Sean, and Will kind of jumped in post-COVID. And I would say you guys are probably one of the biggest pioneers in these remote soft tip tournaments as far as like the live streaming front of it as well.
Yeah, I don't want to say the wrong thing or sound arrogant, but I believe we actually took everything, and credit to Arachnid for giving us the tools, but we took it way beyond. We came up with the corking using the 0-1 game instead of trying to figure out how to throw a bull and figure out who starts first. All that stuff. We hosted the first and earliest remote tournaments using the league functionality of the Arachnid dartboard. But credit to them, and then we innovated and took it the next step. And the Challenger Series, that's something also that I think is going to get bigger and better.
Well, one unique thing about the Challenger Series that people typically ask about, that is probably one of the only long format soft tip cricket formats that you'll see out there. Can you tell us a little bit about your philosophy of why you chose to do that format in the first place?
I've been a big advocate of cricket. I love the game of cricket. I tell people it's way more fun. And I know 0-1 is the European thing, but it's a whole different culture, and there's a whole lot of reasons that it's evolved that way. Americans love cricket. And so I wanted to bring that to the table and introduce it to as many people as possible and help promote the sport through cricket in America.
Well, it's added some exciting moments in the repertoire of live stream moments for the PPD. Now, with soft tip darts and North American darts in general, where do you see it heading in the next, let's say, 3-5 years? Because you're someone that's always thinking ahead and not in the current.
I think it's just going to continue on the course we are on. It's not been that many years. Again, credit to Arachnid allowing us this remote stuff. The remote activity helps us shrink the country. That's one of the biggest barriers is cost of travel and time. And so being able to play remotely, I think and that's our calling card. I think we pioneered it, and we're the biggest footprint, and we're going to continue to try to get bigger and find ways to include more of the great players who currently don't have access. We're going to find ways to let them have access. And so it's going to get bigger. It'll be remote play, I think, more and more. Your streaming content is going to get better and better. And you guys are going to do a good job, I'm sure, helping and all that. But ultimately, that's where I see it going. We're going to continue to have this annual tournament. It's going to get bigger. I feel pretty confident. But right now, you've got things are evolving. We've had 7 years of remote play? I mean, that's all. And half of them's been tainted by this hiccup with COVID and uncertainty. Now that we're through that, we've got a good supply of equipment, and compatible equipment is getting cheaper. Cameras have gotten cheaper. You guys are here doing a fantastic job. It seems like to me the stars are aligning that we can really take this to the next level, and I'm ready to do it.
And we're excited to see what that means for the future of North American darts. Now, one last thing for you. For all your players out there and all the supporters of the PPD program, whether it be Joe Schmo in Division 20 or Jordan Meyer, the Laughing Assassin, whoever it may be, what do you want to say to those players that have been playing the system, whether it be as of yesterday or for years?
Thank you, first and foremost. I mean, I appreciate every single one. I know we've had haters along the way and lost a few, and there's dynamics and politics and nasty stuff in every effort, no matter who you are, what you're trying to do. But there's a lot of people out there that can see what our vision has been, and they appreciate it, and they've stuck with it. I think, we're doing the right things, is a lot of the reason for that. But at the same time, there's been times and moments where they've had to make a decision, am I going to be loyal to this, or am I going to go do something else that looks better? The grass is always green on the other side of that fence, right? But I think our grass has stayed the greenest, and I think that a lot of players have been loyal and faithful, and there's moments where they didn't have to be, and I appreciate that, and I thank them for that.
Well, it sounds like exciting things are in store for not only the partners promoting darts, but North American darts and darts in general. And we appreciate you not only bringing us out here to broadcast this event, but enabling the players to be able to play for so much money and having such good time and memories made. I am Nick DiChiria, joined by none other than Jim Turntine, and we're excited to bring you the Tournament Champions 2022.
Hey everyone, Will here. Thanks for viewing the video. Just wanted to send you a reminder, if you liked this content, make sure to give us a like and a follow on our Facebook page, or head on over to YouTube. Give us a subscribe. We certainly appreciate it. If you like some of the merchandise I'm wearing, maybe the hat, maybe the jersey, head on over to usadarts.live, where you can get some of that merchandise for yourself to rep at your next tournament. Thanks for watching.